All right, let's talk about something every trader has felt, that chaos, that feeling of just guessing. Today, we're going to replace all of that with a clear, structured plan. We're breaking down a framework that will give you a complete blueprint for every single trade you make. You know the feeling, right? The market's buzzing, your heart's racing, and you're just staring at the chart thinking, is this the moment? Should I buy? Should I sell? That mix of adrenaline, hope, and just pure anxiety, that's what happens when you trade without a real plan. It's stressful, it's totally unpredictable, and frankly, it's just no way to handle your money. But what if you could just get rid of all that guesswork? What if every move you made was part of a pre-planned strategy? Well, you can. And the solution isn't some secret indicator or magic formula. It's actually much simpler. It's having a complete plan before you ever put your money on the line. And that's exactly what the CST Framework is all about. It's an acronym, and it stands for conditions, entry, stop loss, and target. You can think of it as your personal pre-trade checklist. It covers every decision you need to make from beginning to end, so you can stop guessing and start operating with total control. Now, this isn't just a list of suggestions. This is a professional blueprint. Seriously, think about it. A pilot has a pre-flight checklist for a reason. A builder follows the blueprint down to the inch. In the same way, a trader who wants to be consistent follows these 4 steps every single time. Each step logically follows the last, creating a solid process you can repeat over and over. So let's dive into the first pillar, which is arguably the most important one. C for conditions. This is all about answering one fundamental question. Why should I even be considering this trade in the first place? See, your conditions are your non-negotiables. They are your rules of engagement. They're basically a giant filter. If the market environment isn't exactly right according to your rules, you just don't trade, period. This step alone saves you from jumping into so many bad trades in choppy, unpredictable markets where the odds are just not in your favor. So what does that look like? Well, it means asking really specific questions. For instance, your rule might be, I will only go long if the S&P 500 is above its 50-day moving average. Or maybe your conditions are that the stock has to be in a hot sector, have some kind of positive news, and show a huge spike in volume. If all those boxes aren't checked, you just walk away. It's that simple. Okay, so let's say your conditions are met. The market looks good. Now, and only now, do we move on to E for entry. This is where you define the exact signal that tells you it's time to act. Your entry trigger has to be crystal clear, so clear that there's absolutely no room for debate. This is what gets rid of that last-second hesitation, that emotional dance of should I or shouldn't I? When your signal happens, you just execute. The decision's already been made, so your action becomes mechanical, not emotional. And these triggers can be incredibly specific. Your entry could be the moment a stock's price breaks and closes above a major resistance level. Or maybe it's when the 10-day moving average crosses above the 20-day. It could even be the confirmation of something like a bull flag pattern. Whatever it is, the key is that you decided on it hours or even days in advance. All right, you figured out your why and your when to get in, but that's really only half the job, isn't it? The last 2 pillars, S for stop loss and T for target, are your complete exit plan. You need to know how you're getting out, whether you win or you lose. First, let's talk defense. S for stop loss. This is the exact price where you say, okay, I was wrong, and you get out to protect your money. Let me be really clear here. This is not a suggestion. This is a hard, non-negotiable rule. It's your financial safety net, and you absolutely have to have it in place before you even think about entering the trade. And finally, the fun part, your offense. T is for target. This is the preset price where you take your profits off the table. A profit target is all about discipline. It's what stops greed from taking over and letting a beautiful winning trade slowly bleed back into a loser, all because you were hoping for just a little bit more. When you put it all together, the difference is just night and day. On one side, you've got guesswork trading. It's totally driven by emotion, it's incredibly high stress, and it leads to erratic, unpredictable results. And on the other side, you have the CEST plan. It's driven by logic, it's low stress, and it's all about following a disciplined process. This really gets to the heart of the mindset shift. You see, when you trade on a whim, you're not really trading, you're gambling. But when you have a complete CEST plan for every single move, you transform yourself. You become a systematic operator who is simply executing a well-thought-out business strategy. Look, the CEST framework is not some magic system that guarantees you'll win every single time. Nothing can do that. But what it does guarantee is a professional process. It's about building those disciplined habits that are the absolute foundation for any kind of long-term success in the markets. So, let me just leave you with this question. When it's your own hard-earned money on the line, why on earth would you ever guess again?